one saw me awkwardly persevere into that mysterious masquerade where strangers waltzed. How dim the chandelier, with moonbeams that our phone screens used to make, revealed nobody's mask was dyed the same. But when I saw each couple's visage matched and felt the pigeon velvet on my face, I knew I had to find the dove-grey mask. I saw the orbit of a yellow pair, their matching yellow masks parallel, and in the dance their eyes maintained the stare. As bound as nuclei inside a cell, they linked, though nature said to part themselves. I knew that yellow couple wouldn't crack, as they into the masses carouseled, into the crowd without a dove-grey mask. My mask, as grey as David's statue's tears, I almost went to tear it off my face. I thought I was a victim of malware. A virus turned my mask another shade that wasn't originally dove-grey. Though all the color in my cheeks amassed into a pink no fabric replicates, I knew I had to find the dove-grey mask. And in embarrassment, some hope appeared. What aurora borealis was made inside the ballroom's stained glass thermosphere? The other wearer of my mask was late, I thought, or looking for me somewhere strange, inside a library upstairs or back inside the crooked woods where fog is laid, where fogs entice to touch her dove-grey mask. Her figment figure at a foggy pier, about to board Charon's skiff by mistake. A road where a horse too quickly reared, where unidentified her body lays. Or standing in the crowd I scan in vain, condemned from moving till we meet at last, condemned and anchored by a cursed bouquet, and anchored by the numbing dove-grey mask. And so I entered overly aware into the living music box. A man adrift inside its ballerina gears, who didn't have someone to take his hand. A man who ambled forth as others danced, a sorry hand on the small of their backs. Oh, there was such a gradual advance, and still nobody wore the dove-grey mask. I was the meteor these planets shared, and played a merry game of tennis with, my tennis ball heart's dribble weakening, my mask as pale as moon when day begins. The crowd ignored me in the room's axis. Beneath the phone screen chandelier entrapped, I felt the desperate slowness when I blinked while I tried to find the dove-grey mask. My lostness ended on a set of stairs, and there I knew my search would escalate into the corridor beyond the stairs, into the corridor where portraits hanged to tease their stranded guest. The ballroom's wake like tides against the bottom step splish-splashed while I made my tacky pace to go and try to find the dove-grey mask. In this black hole, the other world premiered, a trail I hoped my other half had made. In darkness, candle wax cologned the air, for previously it seemed they lost their flame to taciturning lips. Her wicks exchanged their lights to taste the air her lungs dispatched. Death's end, the candle's final words remained, perhaps the fragrance of the dove-grey mask. By now my perspiration overbeared, a sweat the faint beginnings of a stain of which I hope my partner wouldn't care. In looking to and fro, my hair uncame, a frontal lock rebounding out of place that only she was meant to pilot back. The curl would fit her finger like a ring, for both of us had on the dove-grey mask. Into a library I pioneered, a room where hidden bookshelves made their maze, and though the woodwork trees had shaved their beards, I smelled 1,000 novels aftershave, and not my partner's blown-out candle musk. But still I paced the aisles, looking back to see if she'd be reading all the authors' names in search of mine to find the dove-grey mask. Onto a greenhouse balcony I veered, a school where hostess scribbled down essays and made me feel transported back in years. A student searching for someone who'd play with me, for summer was coming too late. My school bell hard about to ring at last, a delinquent about to graduate, about to find who wore the dove-grey mask. Out here the roses shared their final tear in gardens huddled like the Grecian fates, and that is where I saw her standing there, and that is when I knew I was too late. For only the dead possess her restraint, the patience that her living soulmate lacked. Because I sprinted to her and she stayed, her ghost who had to wear the dove-grey mask. I stripped my mask in one alarming tear, and let the roses wear what I disdained. Her listless mouth, my gritted teeth despaired, a woman's ghost who had nothing to say. I cringed, and the world had nothing to say, because I knew our lips would never latch. Was that the smile Mona Lisa gave? Was that my soulmate in the dove-grey mask? Still, I hugged the dying atoms that was my dear, and felt her eyes-bathed flesh fade and fade. I knew this was what goosebumps bloom into, while my body yearned to fade the same. Within my arms her slow malfunctions came as a ghost attempted to hug me back. She froze, she twitched, her movements were delayed, manipulated by the dove-grey mask. What smell the coffee-coloured soil had! Though sweat beneath my shirt forsaked, the water for the roses was elsewhere. Or did those flowers self-immolate? And that's the wet and earthly smell I hate, the muggy night that snuffed the candle wax aroma that I thought my love would have, the scent of her who wore the dove-grey mask. I know, my love, thy vanishing is near, but try to dance with me like them, I begged. Oh, but something about her changed. She didn't recognize me anymore because I flung my dove-grey mask away. A lunge, the only move I would perform, the first and final choreography, and all that was left was the dove-grey mask. On both my knees, on where she disappeared, I bowed my head. A shower of flakes she used to be, resolving in my hair that she was meant to push back into place. I knelt within my love's snow globe remains, her puzzle pieces falling faint as ash that was the dreaded noir shade. That was the color of the dove-grey mask.